What's up, YouTube? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and welcome to my list of my top 5 outdoor flyers. This list is just going to be multi-rotors, no helicopters or anything like that, single blade helicopters, just multi-rotors. So it can be a hex, quadcopter. Let's get right to the list. So coming in at number 5 on my top flyers list is this guy. Now this is the JJRC JJ1000. This is the new version of the JJRC 1000A, and this thing is awesome. I really like the way this thing flies. Outdoors, this thing is a beast. It flies really fast. It has a quick yaw rate now. This thing zips around and switches directions really fast. It's just awesome. It's on an awesome protocol, the WL Toys V2X2 protocol. It's supported by deviation, so you can fly this thing with a Devo hacked with deviation firmware and get an awesome response and control of this thing. Real precise flying. But this thing is awesome, man. It has headless mode. I'm not really a big fan of headless and one key return, but it does have that. So it has some of the bells and whistles that some of the other companies are putting out with their quadcopters. The lighting on this thing is awesome. Awesome night flights with this. It lights up really bright. I don't have a battery close by now. Oh, actually I do. Let me show you guys the lighting on this thing. You guys know I love night flights. So this thing, well, it's this on camera here, it's not doing it any justice. At night, this thing is very visible. You really can see orientation, make out your orientation really well with this quadcopter. One negative about it that some of you guys might not like is that it has red in the front and blue in the back. But for me, that's not major. I usually do pitch flying, so I'm flying with full pitch, full forward pitch most of the time, so I can pretty much make out my orientation. Very seldom do I just stop and come to a hover and then y'all. So yeah, coming in at number 5 is the JJRC JJ1000. Coming in at number 4 is the Sky Dreamer Plus. This thing is really awesome. I like to fly this thing at night. It has really nice LEDs, but the flight characteristics of this thing, it's awesome. I mean, this thing is great size. I think it's a really unique size. It's in between a micro and an actual mini. So this thing is smaller than your Cyma X5C, but it's larger than your micro. As you can see, it kind of dwarfs this JJ1000, but this thing flies awesome. It has a really fast yaw rate. You can do awesome funnels with this. It spins around on one motor pod easily. You can fit nice size batteries in here. You can put up to I've gotten a 650 milliamp hour battery in here. I think I can probably get the 750 in here, but it'll be really tight. But no need, because this thing is gear driven. The motors are gear driven, so this thing, it has really nice flight times. So you get nice long flight times and awesome flight characteristics. It does come with in a camera version. This is the camera version. It shoots nice video and takes nice pictures, but there's no sound in the camera though. But not that you would be needing the sound in the camera, because usually all you hear is just the propellers, the props spinning, and all the, you know, the buzzing of the motors. So I think this thing is a really awesome flyer outdoors. That's my number 4 outdoor flyer. Coming in at number 3. Number 3 is my Blade Nano QX 3D. What the heck? There it is. The Blade Nano QX 3D. This thing is really awesome. You can see my canopy is cracked. Sometimes I fly this thing on the expert mode. This aircraft is really unique because this was the first quadcopter that I saw that's a micro that can fly inverted. This thing flies upside down. It has a really unique design, sort of like the Blade Nano QX upside down, but this thing can fly upside down too. So it's just awesome, man. It has a bunch of LEDs on it, but it does have a problem with the LEDs. The LEDs on this quadcopter, they're very vulnerable to crashes, and they go out a lot. There was a little fix for it that you can solder this little bridge resistor or whatever it is on the board, but it just ends up going out. The LED will go out again once you crash again. So that's one little flaw in the design, but this thing is awesome. It flies really awesome. This thing flies. This is the best flying micro in my opinion. It has a really fast yaw rate. The yaw rate is controllable. I mean, you can fly this thing really precise, so you can fly it really fast and zip around, invert. And then it has a mode where you can fly this thing and you'll get negative thrust from the props. The motors actually spin the opposite direction. So when you get in the expert mode on this quadcopter, anything below 50% on the throttle stick will give you negative thrust. So you can actually fly this thing down or fly it up really fast. So definitely not for beginners, that mode, but you can fly this thing. A beginner can have fun with this, as long as you're on the beginner and intermediate mode, because this thing, man, it's just awesome, man. It's really precise. I think a beginner wouldn't have problems with flying this on the easy mode, beginner's mode. But I would recommend this for intermediate to experts, because of the expert mode on here. You can easily break this thing because the quad is actually, the board is actually the frame. It has that what's that, the SD's Proto X was a Nano that came out with that feature, that design. They took up that design with the Nano QX 3D. That's one thing that I don't like about it, that is very fragile, seems to be, but I've crashed this thing a lot and it's still holding up well. The most I've had is LEDs go out. I had a stiff motor before, just the other day. I banged that out and fixed it, and the LEDs just go out. But as far as a flyer, outdoor flyer, this thing is totally awesome. An awesome indoor flyer too. So that was my number 3. My number 2 outdoor flyer, top outdoor flyer, is this thing, the Latrax Alias. This thing is super awesome, man. This thing has a lot of tricks up its sleeve, a lot of different tricks and stunts that you can do with this quadcopter. It flies really nice. It fights wind very well. This is an awesome quadcopter. You can get this thing. There's a button. Well, you can set up a bunch of options on the transmitter where you can get this thing to do a bunch of stunts. Where you can set up a stunt where you have this thing do 5 flips in a row really fast. Of course, you got to have a lot of height when you do the stunt. A lot of the stunts with this quadcopter. So naturally, the range on this thing is crazy. You can fly this thing really far up in the sky. It has an all-out mode, expert mode, where you can. There's a 3-axis gyro, and you can just flip it all the way over on your own. Manual flip it by the controls, and you really don't have no help. You don't have any help self-leveling on that mode. So you can take it up really high and just flip the heck out of it. Just do a bunch of flips on the way down. You're flipping and turning, and then once you think you're getting out of control and you're about to crash, you can just hit the button to switch it back to assisted mode, and it'll level right out. You can turn the accelerometer assistance on and off. So this thing is really awesome, man. It has a rudder stunt. You can do a stunt where it'll start to yaw, and you can still, it'll be like in headless mode just for a few seconds, and it'll be yawing, and you can control it while it yaws. It spins around. This thing is a really awesome flyer. It has awesome lighting. It's an awesome night flyer. You probably noticing a trend with my outdoor flyers. They all have great lighting because I love night flying. But this thing flies really nice, and it lights up pretty well at night. It's got a modular design. This, you can bash this thing. I don't have any problems with crashing it or anything because the props, the props are really easy to get. All of the parts for this quadcopter are really easy to get. It's really easy to fix. Just an awesome quadcopter. So that's my number 4. Well, I'm sorry, that's my number 2 top flyer, the Latrax Alias. Let me slide all of them back so you can pretty much still see them in the frame. Now, my number 1 outdoor flyer, my top flyer for outdoors, y'all already know, man. You already know what it is. It's the Huying Toys X6058. There's mine there. This is my Venom version. I did some modding. This thing has a custom canopy now. Everything's black on it because I'm going with the I'm going with the theme. These things actually came like this, the Spider-Man theme, and I'm just embracing it. I'm just going with Venom. So this is my Venom version of the Huying Toys X6058. This thing is an awesome flyer. This is the best flyer I've flown outdoors. It has an awesome yaw rate. The yaw rate is pretty fast, but it's not that the yaw rate is just fast, because there are a couple of other minis out there that have a nice yaw rate and a yaw rate as fast as this, but the fast yaw rate coupled with the deep pitch of this quad makes this quad awesome and untouchable by the rest of the quads in this class. This is a Latrax Alias clone, but I think this thing actually flies better than the Latrax Alias. This thing just, the motors are just more powerful than the Latrax Alias. The pitch is deep. The Latrax Alias can get as deep on the pitch, but the Latrax Alias loses the pitch when you yaw. This thing right here, it holds the pitch. The pitch even gets deeper when you yaw. When you're flying really fast and you yaw to spin out of it, the pitch gets deeper and it stops. It'll actually turn. When you make your turn, it'll actually get perpendicular. It'll stop right on a dime, and man, this thing is just awesome. You can do awesome deep funnels with it. It can spin around on a motor pod. It flies really fast because the motors are powerful. The lighting is very nice. The only downside to this quad, I think, is that it doesn't have any ball bearings on the props and the geared motors. It doesn't have any ball bearings, and that's just about it. And no ball bearings. That's the only negative. And also, some people have been reporting getting versions of this that isn't as good as this one, and I can attest to that because I ordered one from GearBest. It was actually this one, and it was downgraded from the 3 that I had. I originally got 3 of these from a factory, from the straight from Huying Toys, and they were awesome. All 3 of them were really fast and just like this one. But then I got this one from GearBest, and it's an awesome quad too. The one from GearBest, it's better than a lot of the quads in this class. I still think it's the best Latrax Alias clone, the one from GearBest that's slowed down. But actually, the yaw rate is just slower and the pitch is a little less deep. but the yaw rate is still fast enough to do nice funnels. It still has the powerful motors. It flies fast. This one actually I took one of the boards out of one of the ones that I got from the factory and put it in here. So this is not even exactly the one from GearBest anymore. This is an awesome one. But the one from GearBest isn't bad. It's just not as powerful and nice flying as this one. The yaw rate isn't as fast and the pitch isn't as deep. But this thing comes with a 750 milliamp hour battery, huge battery size. It flies really long. I've been getting really long flight times, close to 15 minutes with this thing. I've been getting 14 minutes. If you're not flying it hard, I've been flying it really hard and getting like 13 minutes with it. So this thing is, man, this thing is awesome. I can't stress enough about how much I like this thing, flying it outdoors. I do fly this indoors sometimes too. The yaw and pitch combination is that good that I can fly this thing indoors comfortably. So really awesome quadcopter. This one here is my #1 outdoor flyer. And that's my top 5 outdoor flyers. Thanks for watching.